listen, we're going to break free, and we're going to talk to Lindsay Rhodes now from SumerSports. And Lindsay, of course, hails from El Toro, Cali.
Ooh.
How about that?
How about that?
And you're friends with my guy, Tommy D, Dimitrov, and all my friends at SumerSports.
Yep.
How's it going now? Because I think when it started, it was like 3 years ago, maybe?
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Is it about 3 years ago?
I think it's been 3 years. I've only been there for just this football season.
Right.
So I'm a newer ad, but I think it's
so. When they started it, right? Like I've been friends with Thomas since he ran the Falcons, and he used to come do my show when I was on the Howard Stern channels for like 10 years in New York City, and he would come do the show, and we'd go out and eat lobster in Manhattan, and we became close friends. And then through the years, he would always come on the show as the Falcons GM, and then he left, and he started doing the stuff with Sumer. And it was like, you know, I remember it was real analytical, and it was trying to help franchises. So you had done a lot of stuff in football with like NFL Network and such.
Yep.
So I did, NFL, I don't know if it was NFL Films or NFL Network. I did the top 10 shows for about 15 years. Because I like would go on those things and misbehave for like 15 years. And we would tape them in like the Omni in Manhattan. I'd do the whole season in like 5 hours. And we would tape. So I know a lot of the people at the NFL Network. What was it like for you to transition from that to Sumer and going into like, I mean, they're like mad scientists at Sumer. They're not, like people at NFL Network, a bunch of beer drinkers and whiskey drinkers that like football and gambling. At Sumer, they're like scientists.
Well, it's in so many different ways. It's really, really interesting in terms of the layers of difference, right? Well, first of all, even prior to leaving NFL Network and then prior to me starting at Sumer was like entering more of a podcast space and radio and doing those types of conversations, which is a transition in and of itself from television.
Right.
Television's very choppy, talk about things
for like
a minute and a half max. And
you're right.
With multiple people weighing in on a conversation. On a podcast, you could go like 12 minutes on a topic back and forth with somebody with all the different...
Or the whole hour.
For sure, right? Yeah.
Right, and I saw people today, they were, like at our network, they were taping half-hour segments, one after the next, trying to get as many of them load them up into the queue for the week, and they just bang out segments. It's a lot different down there, right, at Sumer.
Well, it allows you to go into a lot more detail, right? So you're really kind of getting to the thing about TV that's always challenging in a good way sometimes, but is like if you're doing an interview, you have time for maybe 3 to 6 questions, right? And so you kind of have to do the mental math about, is it worth it to ask a follow-up question?
Right.
Or are we going to get bogged down and then not have time to get to the other things that people want to talk about? But then there is a level of like kind of surface that you're not scratching it, you're just staying right there. And so it's been so interesting being able to dive into all of the many layers of things and really kind of ask the questions about like, okay, so this is that, but is it really that, or do we just think it's that? This player is good, is he still good, or is he not really good anymore? And kind of ask all of the questions that help peel back some of those onion layers to get to information that you feel like really properly reflects what's going on the football.
How have the teams responded to it? Like, I remember when the guy started. What was his partner's name? Eric, something like that?
Eric Eager.
So I know Eric really well. Eric came on my show once and dropped an F-bomb live on television. It was fantastic.
Okay.
It really made my day because I was a guy.
TV.
Listen, I worked at Howard Stern, so I am the epitome of bad language and horrible behavior. I never wear a sport coat, okay? So I am a bad person. And he came on and said all kinds of horrible things on my show one day. He had no idea that we were on, like, clean television, and I love him for that. I really do. But what has it been like have you seen these teams receiving this information? Because they wanted to take it to the teams and show them what they could do to realize what they were missing on the football field with their analytics and with their videos, their films, because they study film like you and I. Like you have kids, I have kids, I got kids in college, kids are a pain in the ass. NFL teams' film sessions are a pain in the ass. Right. But I think Sumer wanted to cut through that and help them. Did they receive it well?
Well, so I would not be the person to answer that question because I'm not going.
You have to be.
Yes, they received it great. Obviously, the business-to-business model is selling like hotcakes.
That is awesome. It sounded like a chime in your backyard.
Going off.
Is that like a chime in your yard?
The person who has the ringer on, what's that going?
That is a fantastic phone ring, though. I literally thought the wind was blowing and that my dog was in the backyard and he had knocked it. Listen to the chimes.
It won't stop.
It's fantastic. And you got you're really popular. People calling you left and right.
I know for sure that that's an unwanted phone call because that's the only kind.
I don't like those.
Things.
I block all those. Let me ask you a question. Where did you cut your teeth?
There's so many different.
Fair enough. So tell me the story.
Well, I started working like internships in broadcasting when I was in college.
Right.
So I was working.
Where was that in college?
Manager and a red hat, the person who holds up their hand.
Right. What college?
USC.
Oh, a Trojan, this woman. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So I worked at Fox Sports West prior to leaving college, and then went and did like small market stuff. Yakima, Tri-Cities, Washington.
Sure. I know Yakima. I used to be on the air there.
Were you?
Well, I've been syndicated nationally my whole career, so I've been on everywhere.
Not on the air.
No, just on there. I've been on everywhere.
They hear me in Yakima. That's what you meant. Yeah.
It's a good spot. Yeah. So do you did you like doing the NFL Network stuff? And who do you think is going to win this football game? Like, do you even care about the football game?
Of course I care.
Do you still?
Who would be here?
Well, who's your team? Who's your team? Because I'm a Steeler fan. I hate both of these teams. I hope they get diarrhea.
I'm a nerd when it comes to just football data and content.
Right.
I'm kind of will go wherever the wind leads me in terms of where the right story is.
Right.
And then what I root for are my takes.
No, but what about you? Don't have a team that you root for?
I don't have a team.
You don't even have. You don't have
the weirdest thing ever.
Wait a minute. You're like a woman without a team. You have no team that you rooted for your whole life.
Yes. So I grew up in LA.
And they had so many teams leave, you lost interest.
I know, but it wasn't where my interest was attached to. And so I wasn't really a huge fan of the NFL.
What does your husband think of you being a sportscaster? Like, does he like it, or is he into sports?
Yeah.
What does he do?
Yeah, I run all of our fantasy leagues, and
and you beat his ass in fantasy leagues?
I mean, he's pretty good. I'm going to give him some credit.
He's not bad.
But
what does he do for a living?
He is he's Baywatch.
Wow.
Like the TV show.
Wow. So he's like David Hasselhoff? You have like a hunk husband that runs on the beach in a red swimsuit?
I don't know how much he runs on the beach, but red swimsuit.
Lindsay, I love you. It's great to meet you. Say hi to my friends at SumerSports.